Hey, it's Nidhogg. So he's our main bad guy in Love Nikki. He believes that the blood curse is a false piece. What is a blood curse? The blood curse is a curse in the blood of those born in Maryland that prevents them from resorting to force. After using force, a person affected by the blood curse will be overcome by burning pain in their heart. So Nidhogg, he believes a peace without freedom is fake, so he seeks to end the blood curse. He organizes a coup to take over one of the biggest nations in pursuit of this. He is so committed to this, he is willing to kill and endure the cursed pain to reach his goal. One of his nicknames is Nikki's BFF Lunar, who he runs through with his sword in front of you. Nikki holds her body as it bleeds out, and as Lunar waits for her boyfriend to rescue her, he does not make it in time. She dies, never seeing his smile again. That's okay. We later all are trapped in an endless happy dream and they reunite there temporarily, but that's another story. Yeah, so this story right here, this was from the Illusion Zone event. Basically, Lunar was about to get stabby by Nidhogg, but Louis actually came in time to save her. Then they got married, cloud wedding style, and lived happily ever after. But like the event title, Illusion Zone suggests, it was all an illusion. So this event was actually Louis' infinite Tsukiyomi, where he's eternally happy, but it was all a dream, and even in this dream world, Louis knows that his girlfriend's dead. Turns out this whole time, your other BFF, Bobo, from when you first arrived in Maryland, was a secret agent the entire time. She was a plant to draw you into Maryland's conflicts. Bobo feels very guilty. She is manipulated into this after witnessing her father being fatally shot. Does this look like an evil secret agent to you? No, she don't. Not at all. You also learned Bobo is actually the descendant from the true king, who was a guy who did the blood curse. His rule was an era of peace. He forbade construction of military weapons, etc. He was assassinated. As his defiant act of vengeance, he enacts the blood curse to beep his enemies. Poor guy, may he rest in peace. This culminates in the true king taking over Bobo's body, using his powers to put everyone in Maryland to sleep, lulled into passivity and happy dreams, so he can obliterate the world without resistance. This is the only way true peace, as humans can't keep their beep together. Yeah, dark Bobo. Very beautiful suit, by the way, but a lot of dark story behind it. While Nikki saves the world, the king is like, haha, you're stupid. The world would be destroyed by a flood anyway, bye. Which is a good place to bring us into Shining Nikki. But before, I want to ask, do you agree with Nidhogg, or do you think the blood curse is good? So looking at the lore perspective, everyone who picked a team Night Order in the Dawn War battles is on a Nidhogg side. But man, personally, I just picked Night Order for the hot guys. Now on to Shining Nikki. This is the current 3D Nikki game. The plot is still ongoing, but it has to run concurrently with Love Nikki. So the solution, Maryland does get wrecked in an unspecific time. Nikki has to travel back in time to year 0 Maryland, pre-blood curse. Guns exist! And we're going to see a ton of pew-pews. Without the blood curse, people can commit acts of violence. And in this past Maryland, fashion battles are a stand-in for a test of wills and mental domination. In the wrong hands, styling power can be used to mind control others, like making a small child stab a man. Oh gosh. Styling power is sort of like a mental will made stronger if you have a connection to design, harnessing the emotions of the designer when they create the clothing. Anyway, Nikki's got a gun and she's pointing it at Mercury, but Mercury does not seem fazed at all. Nikki goes back in time to find a way to stop the flood in the future. She encounters a Maryland right after the bloody war of independence for humans. As Elven power starts to wane, she encounters Mercury and Lilith, who are very important parts of the story. Let's start with Mercury. Mercury is a 300-year-old half-elf, a legitimate son of the Elven king and a normal human woman. His father abandons Merc and his mother because the church considers mixing race blasphemy. He spends his life plotting and succeeding in murdering his Daryl Dada, the king. His next target, God. sole purpose in life now is to amass enough power to kill the gods himself. He is the CEO of the largest multinational corporation in all of Maryland. He has his hands in everything. Spoiler, you are the reincarnation of the goddess of beauty. And then a last long character overview. Lilith, love this character, she's my favorite. Lilith is the queen of Niner, a country that values beauty above all. They vote leaders in an aesthetic, and she is their 16-year-old ruler. However, just 2 years ago, she was Ashley, a girl with a facial scar that made her life a living hell. It's because people considered her ugly. Ashley is an orphan adopted by a horrible family and is bullied daily by everyone and her adopted sister Paisley. It's fine because in Nina, only beauty is valued. She eventually is pushed to the brink and set the city on fire, critically injuring Paisley and self-immolating. So yeah, this is a lot of mental health issue. Basically, Ashley is bullied so hard that she couldn't take it anymore, and then she burned everything, including herself. But wait, she's still alive! While she is burned alive, she makes a pact with a demon. The demon cannot grant her universal love, but he can grant her beauty and charm, which is good enough considering the place she lives in values beauty and charm over everything else. She is reborn as Lilith and takes the country by storm. She wins the most prestigious beauty contest, and she is their new ruler now. Side note, the country known as Niner Kingdom still exists in Love Nikki timeline, but in the future it is known as Lilith Kingdom. Also, they don't obsess over beauty anymore. We currently don't know how this rename happened or why this obsessive over beauty is not a thing anymore. Maybe we'll find out in the future, like in Infinity Nikki or something. I'm gonna gloss over Chinyi. He's my favorite baby girl, but even his basic story is too complicated to summarize. It does involve child abuse and the depths a hurt/traumatized person can go to take control of their own life. Yeah, this is my favorite picture of Chinyi, rockstar Chinyi, very hot designer. The last thing, main story, I'll end on is circling back to Nikki and her place in the story. Nikki is from Pseudo-Earth, but ever since being sucked into Maryland, she has decided to stay and save it before returning home to her family, even though she has opportunities to leave. What you find out in Shining Nikki is that this is not the first time. That is, Maryland has been destroyed hundreds, if not thousands of times. So Nikki is in an infinite time loop trying to save Maryland, but with no avail. There is a moment in which she finally regains her memories of every single time loop, and after being overwhelmed, she can see the path forward. She designs the iconic Starseed dress using her experience and inspiration of every star trail. And yeah, here's the gorgeous Starseed dress in Shining Nikki. Anyway, we're still following her story, but I'll do a few more tweets about the bizarre and horrible side. Love Nikki and Shining Nikki is so dark. Oh, side story. Let's talk about Krista. A nation of severe income inequality finds a peasant girl in the slums who cries tears of crystal. They essentially lure her into the capital, promise if she serves the country by crying her tears, the church can sell the tears and end poverty. Sounds legit. Nah, sounds like a huge scam. Because the tears only turn into crystal if they are genuinely from sad emotions. They lock her in a tower and force her to be sad, to cry crystals. It starts with a sad place and escalates to physical abuse. She is happy in sadness to lift the impoverishedness of her country. Oh my goodness, that has to be illegal. Until she escapes one day with a play actor and she sees the slums are still slums. The church has been embezzling the money. She refuses to cry anymore. The church murders the actor in retaliation. She cries blood red crystals one last time to call upon the gods to drown the nation. That's a lot. I'm gonna end right here. If you want to continue reading how dark Love Nikki and Shining Nikki is, Shattered Earth is the one who made this thread. Thank you so much for sharing the lore with us. And that's all. Subscribe or I'll delete your Love Nikki account. Peace, peace.